Let's read some Glitch in the Matrix stories. Hi, Auntie Matrix. Hi. I have a story for you. Help me to explain this one. This story starts back when I was 9. My grandmother saw me while out shopping. Like all grandmas do, she started to say hi when a stranger took my hand. Her first instinct was to ask them who they were and demand to know why they had my hand, but instead she was overcome by a sudden weird feeling that she couldn't explain. I had looked over at her and showed no recognition in my eyes. It was like she was staring at a stranger identical to her granddaughter. The words died in my grandmother's throat. She rushed home to call my mom. These were the days before mobile phones. Mom answered, and my grandma, with fear in her voice, asked if she knew where I was. My mom confirmed that I was home playing in front of her and had been all day. They chalked it up to a strange case of mistaken identity. The experience and my grandma's panic remained in the back of my mom's head for years. Flash forward 20 years. I had been living in Australia for a year and finally was flying home to Columbus, Ohio, USA in May 2007 with my fiance. After a long 22-hour flight from Melbourne, we finally landed in Columbus. My parents were waiting for us at baggage claim. We just needed to make our way out of the security checkpoint to get there. As we passed through the security exit, I'm stopped by 2 TSA agents. "What are you doing?" they asked me. Stunned and caught off guard, I tell them that I'm headed to my parents, both whom I could see about 50 paces away. No, you can't do that. They stopped me from exiting the terminal. What? I started to panic thinking about what I could have done wrong to be stopped by the TSA as I'm leaving the airport. My fiance, with a clearer head than me, quickly asked, "Why can't she leave?" "Because she'll miss her flight," they explained frantically. "Your flight is about to depart." Confused, we tell them that we just got off of a flight and we pointed to my family waiting to pick us up from the airport. They weren't convinced and asked me to see my boarding pass to prove that we had just gotten off a flight. When I showed them my boarding passes, they looked up as confused as we were. Trying to explain things logically, the TSA agent asked me, "Do you have a twin?" I shook my head no. "Well," he stated, "you're not going to believe this." His gaze kept darting between me and the terminal behind me. "Someone who looks exactly like you just came through security. She asked me for directions to her gate, and because her flight was about to depart, I walked her there myself." I looked down the terminal, but the plane had already boarded and the terminal was quiet. I shrugged it off as a case of mistaken identity. "You're not understanding me." The TSA agent spoke again more urgently, clearly having experienced something odd. "When I say I just helped someone who looks like you, I meant looks exactly like you do right now. Her hair was the same length and style. She was wearing the same clothes as you, the same jeans, top, same bag, the exact same jacket as you. What is even more wild is the jacket I was wearing was an old Ohio State jacket from 8 or so years before, and it is a 2-piece jacket. There was an inner red jacket that zipped into an outer black jacket, and I was only wearing the inner part and not the whole jacket, as my outer jacket zipper was broken. So someone who looked exactly like me wearing the same exact clothes had passed through security at CMH about 5 minutes before me. I'm not even from Columbus. I live in Zanesville. Whoever it is looked so identical that they have confused my grandmother in Zanesville and 2 TSA agents in CMH, yet I have never been in the same place at the same time as them. Okay, this is super weird. It was definitely like another version of you, maybe a doppelganger, but I have a question about doppelgangers because I'm not really that familiar with them. When you see a doppelganger, is it like just, it's the same exact person, but are they wearing the same exact clothes that the other person is wearing in the same moment or not? For some reason, I feel like a doppelganger is not wearing the same exact clothes at the same exact moment at all times. And it's just that their faces look the same, but I don't really know. Does anybody have information about that? Because I'm not really sure. This is freaking weird though, man. Like, what? I need to hear what everybody thinks. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm Auntie Matrix, and if you like stories like this, make sure you hit that follow button and send me yours. You can send it to this email address right here.